watching Big Lou Barbecue and other things I want to do. And let me tell you what I got going on for you. Doing turkey. Turkey is my favorite thing to do. Probably because I'm born in November. In fact, this year, 2021, my birthday falls on Thanksgiving Day. All right. I started this YouTube channel on Thanksgiving Day of 2016. That was the day before my birthday that year. All right. I love turkeys. And this is turkey video number 20 on my channel. Yeah, I've got 19 other videos where I cook turkeys. And sometimes I cook them in different ways, and sometimes I prepare them in slightly different ways. I like to cook them on my various cookers. I've got grills, I've got drum smokers, I've got all sorts of things where I've spatchcocked them and where I've cooked them vertical, sitting up, sideways, hanging, all kind of ways I like to cook them. Deep frying and oilless deep frying, okay? I've got lots of turkey videos, and normally this is the way I prepare them. It's called Louisiana style or Cajun style. I once watched Dave's Ohio Barbecue several years ago, and he was cooking two turkeys or two halves of a turkey, and he cooked one, he said traditional style, and the other Cajun style. And I was thinking, well, he's from Ohio. The Cajun style is what I normally cook mine as, okay? I've been cooking turkeys like this since the mid-90s. I started deep frying them. Yeah, in the mid-90s during the Clinton administration, I started deep frying them. This is the same recipe I would use for deep frying them. I got a deep fried video I put up a few weeks ago. This is how I prepared that turkey. I'm preparing this one to cook on my old smoky grill. I've got a lot of videos where I cook them on old smoky grills and hanging in smokers or whatever. This is my standard go-to Cajun style turkey. So anyway, almost 2-minute intro. That's too long. Let's get into prepping this turkey. All right, this is the turkey I'll be preparing. I bought the blue and white brand because it was cheaper than the blue and yellow brand. You buy whichever brand you like, okay? I like to cook no more than a 16-pound turkey. That's because I'm so familiar with frying them. You never want to deep fry one that's more than 16 pounds. Of course, you could smoke or bake one that's larger than that, but I usually like 12 to 16-pound turkey, and about 15 is my preferred weight. This is a 14.83-pound turkey, so it's close enough to 15 pounds to make it worth my while, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and get it out of the package and show you how I prep it. All right, well, excuse me. Actually, I want to mention that it is basted with approximately 9.5% of turkey broth. That's why I don't normally brine a supermarket turkey. This one and the blue and yellow brand and a few other brands are usually already brined or have some kind of broth or something in them. So I don't bother with a brine, and you don't have to either. I do like an injectable marinade, and so we're going to inject it. Now I'm going to get it out of the package. Okay, it's out of the package and it's well defrosted. You want to defrost one in a refrigerator for about 1 day per 5 pounds. Since this was a 15-pound one, it needed to stay in my refrigerator for at least 3 days. It's actually been in there for about 5. You know it's well defrosted when juice runs out of it. All right, you got all that liquid that runs out of it. But you can check it with an instant read thermometer, okay? Just, you know, stick it in. We're going to inject it anyway, and that says 41, 42. So I know that it's defrosted. All right. If it's below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, there's 0 Celsius, centigrade, Celsius, whatever you call it. All right. It's not defrosted yet. You're going to have to let it defrost. Okay. The next thing you want to do is make sure you pull this out. These things do not. They're set to like 185 or something, which is really too high for breast meat, and they do that for, you know, liability reasons to make sure that nothing is undercooked when this pops up. And it's not accurate. Use a good digital thermometer. All right, throw that away. Now, when I buy the blue and white brand, the skin isn't always on there well. If you notice my turkey fry video, it was torn there too. Okay, if you buy the blue and yellow brand, that's not always the case. Okay, these plastic things right here are there to truss it. You can cook with them. If you buy the blue and yellow brand, they used to have a wire one, but nowadays they use a skin flap from here to tuck the legs under for trussing. But I get rid of this too, so this is also trash. Now this is the last part over the fence, so to speak. I cut it off. If I'm frying especially, I don't always cut it off if I'm smoking, but I usually cut it off. I boil that up with stock. By the way, those pieces of skin you saw in the plastic thing, they go in there too. They help make a turkey stock, which helps make great gravy. All right, I've got a video on how to make stocks. All right, same thing with the neck. You reach in the cavity, and I like to wear gloves. Get you some gloves, okay? If you don't like to wear gloves, then do it barehanded. Reach in there, pull the neck out, okay? And that goes in this thing too for stock, all right, to make gravy with, all right? And we pull the the giblets out the back. Oop, the bag's already, that bag's open and they had a loose giblet in there. No, the bag's not open. They just had a loose giblet, all right? That, my friends, is turkey liver, and that is good stuff. I love liver, and I'm probably gonna cook that as a snack. And then there's giblets, the heart, and the gizzards and all, go in giblet gravy. Might throw the liver in there too, all right? Like giblet gravy. Yes, I do. All right, I'm gonna change gloves. You're not gonna notice a difference, but I'm gonna change gloves so I can show you what we're injecting and rubbing this with. I'm also gonna go ahead and drain this out in the sink. So when you come back, you'll see it's dry. All right, make sure you have everything ready, okay? From start to finish at this point, once it's cleaned. I've just put on new gloves. All right, make sure you have whatever you're going to put it in. If you're roasting it in the oven or you're doing it in a horizontal barrel smoker or something like that, or an offset smoker, you probably want one of these, roasting racks. That's upside down right there, but it sits in there and over a tray or something and roasts so that air in the oven or whatever can get through it. So if you're using it in the oven or even a vertical smoker or even a barrel smoker, if you set it sideways, the turkey just sits in this rack. If you're deep frying it, you can use a basket or you can use one of these racks. That's what I use. I've got 2 or 3 of these. Why? Because I like to cook turkeys, all right? Smoking it, you can smoke it on one of those things too if you want to. I usually use one of these hanger things. They don't make this brand anymore, but you can get them. Dimension one, I'm not sponsored by them. I don't even have one. A pit barrel cooker I know makes one of these turkey rack things. All right, and that screws on there and this goes through it and it hangs the turkey like that. But whatever you're gonna use, have it ready. This turkey, if you put it in the oilless fryer, have your basket clean and ready to go at this stage, okay? I've got one of those oilless fryers, and this time I'm gonna be using one of these turkey sitters. It sits upright on there, okay? It's from Big Green Egg, all right? And the turkey sits up on it like a beer can chicken or something. But anyway, have whatever you're gonna put it on ready to go, and have whatever you're gonna use. I like this injectable marinade. Like I said, I don't necessarily brine turkeys. Supermarket turkeys generally come already brined, but I do like to inject them. I can make my own marinade. I've made it before. Heck, I might even have a video about it. But it's either chicken broth or turkey broth and butter and Cajun Creole seasoning. I'm partial to this brand. If you don't want to know why, I've got a video about why I'm partial to this brand. It usually comes with its own little injector. I've got a whole drawer full of these things. All right, because every time I buy a bottle, I get it. And then you want to rub. This is a rub that I make. It was my grandfather's recipe, and I've tweaked it a little bit, but I do have a video on how I make it. And that's about 3 or 4 years old. In fact, that's the 3rd video I've ever made on my channel, all right? It was done New Year's of 2016, 2017, actually. All right, but that's how I make this. I put it in a little shaker jar. I make a big old peanut butter jar of it and use a lot of it because I cook a lot of turkeys. Also, I have people that send me rubs. Dr. Dorr sends me rubs. Uncle Steve sends me rubs. I appreciate them all. And sometimes subscribers send me rubs. I use whatever rub on it, but I'm still probably going to be injecting it with this. Rarely, if ever, do I brine a turkey. All right. This stage, there's nothing to it but to do it. Don't want to use the needle out of the bottle. You just pour it into a jar. Use these little jelly jars. They're good for this. They're good for drinking wine out of if you drink wine, all right? Whatever, Anyway, I'm not going to need quite that much. So I know about how much I need for this 15-pound bird, and I'm gonna need exactly that much, no more, no less. Watch. All right, that's what, this is a 1 cup jar, so that's about half a cup. All right, and I try to do this about an hour before I cook or smoke it. Sometimes I go 2 or 3 hours. I don't need to go all day. A lot of it kind of leaks out or something if you go all day with it. You go into the breast like this, and you go one way, you go the other way. All right, and About 3 different injection points like that is just fine. All right, you just put it in there and you draw up some, okay? And you go here, you go this way, and you go that way, get it down there in that part, and get it kind of like, oh, it came out that hole where the pop-up thermometer thing was. So you know what? We'll just stick some more in there. How's that? We'll show you. Put as much as you want to in it. Remember, the more you put in there, it could make the cook time longer, especially if you haven't had it in a long time. All right, now, it's time to get the thighs. The way I get the thighs is I go on the inside right here, okay? And just get the thighs right like that. And I can feel it puffing up right there. And then I go in and get this thigh here, right? There's a bone, but you can, well, I could get around that other bone easier, huh? Right there, I got inside the thigh. Put the rest of it right there. And then we do the legs. Look how much of that I got left. I'm doing well, aren't I? All right, I'm learning to draw it one-handed, like that. I didn't draw it very well one-handed. I'm gonna have to turn it like this, and there we go. Now to do the leg, now if you got a bigger turkey, you'll have to use more of this, obviously, you know. I go right like that, and right down there in the joint. We'll do the same to the other leg. All right, got it like this. I go here, and you can feel it going in there too. Here, and then right down in the joint. All right, now, I turn it over. Now remember, we already got the thighs from the inside. All right. I got to do the wings. I don't have very much of this left. All right, I just filled my syringe for the wings. That's all I got left in the jar. Yeah, I guessed pretty right, didn't I? I did well. You know why? I like to cook turkeys. In one wing, boom, and then the other way, boom. Same way in this wing. Boom, and you can do it from the inside of it if you want to, all right? Especially if you're making a big presentation. And then if there's any left, I go right down here into the wing joint like that, and I'm not gonna get that wing joint, I ran out. So anyway, that's how I inject it. All right, at this stage, I want to take some paper towels and I wanna pat it dry. This is very, very important if you are deep frying it. If you're smoking it and you want a crispier skin, do this. If you want a smokier flavor, don't dry it. All right, but you'll get a more leathery skin out of it, but you'll get a smokier flavor. I think so anyway. Maybe that's just opinion or wives' tale. But you want to kind of go ahead and pat it dry. Since I am cooking this on the grill, it doesn't have to be nearly as dry as it does if I'm deep frying it. All right, now, and it's time to put the rub on, and I'm gonna start on this side. Now, a lot of people cut this skin off right back here. I do, depending on how I'm cooking it. But since I'm cooking this one legs down and breast side up, it's gonna cook like that. I'll leave that skin just folded over like that right there. And that kind of gets crispy, and I like that part, all right? So I leave it on, but some people cut it off. You can do as you wish. All right, so I've got this patted down. We get rid of these paper towels, and we will start to season this bird. All right, have whatever rub you got ready in whatever sprinkler jar you want, okay? And you make it yourself like I did here, or you can use a commercial brand. And, you know, Uncle Steve and Dr. Dora probably don't want me mentioning them in the same video, but I'm not showing you those 2 brands anyway. But everybody knows that they send me stuff, and I like to cook with their stuff. But this isn't it. This is stuff I made, okay? You could use just, you know, any Cajun Creole seasoning will work for this. Just try to get it kind of even, and we're going to be touching it up, okay? This is not going to go into the smoker for about an hour anyway, all right? And now I'm going to go ahead and just turn it over like this. And of course, some of that's going to rub off the side, but when I put it on whatever rack I'm going to put it on, I like to get inside the wing flap, get that wing flap good here. All right, you want to get that, because that skin will get real crispy right there on that wing flap oftentimes. All right, get all inside there, get inside there. All right, get up under the armpits here, the leg pits, thigh, whatever, and the groin, whatever part that is. All right, get all that there. If you left the skin on, like I like to do, because it gets it crispy, like that, all right? If there's skin that's exposed, get that. You can tuck it under the skin. All right, and then I turn it upside down like this. Not upside down, but I get some inside the cavity on both sides there. All right, turn it over, get the leg real well. I like those legs to look pretty and tan, you know. All right, and like this. Guys, that's all there is to it, all right? Then we put it on the top and we get the skin. If you leave the skin on, depends on what method I'm cooking as to whether or not I leave the skin on or not. I get that seasoned well inside and out, and I get it all over the top. All right, now, you know what? That looks a little light, especially on camera right there. This rub there, but we're gonna get it like that. All right, now this turkey is ready, except depending on how you cook it. If I'm cooking it in the oven and I'm putting it in the oven rack, I'm gonna truss it. If I'm cooking it sitting like this on a smoker, I'm gonna truss it. That's where you tie the legs up and you tie the wings up like this. If I'm putting it on my hanging rack, I'm probably going to truss just the legs and tuck the wings behind. In fact, I'll show you what I mean by tucking the wings, because I'm gonna be tucking the wings with this one. And you see that? I'm gonna have to touch that seasoning up because it was down in the bottom of that pan, and I will do that once it's on the rack. But I tuck the wings behind like that. Or you can truss it, okay? Depending on what kind of rack or whatever method you're cooking it. If you're deep frying, I tuck the wings like that and I stick it on that deep fry rack and I tie the legs together and I lower it in, all right? So however you need to prepare it after that is that. But that's Louisiana style Cajun smoked turkey, the kind of turkey I grew up with. I absolutely love it, all right? And most turkeys I cook, I prepare in this very same manner. Thanks for watching Big Lou Barbecue.